Hey, what's going on? Luke here, and today I was originally going to be doing a Reddit video. However, I feel like I need more time to go ahead and go through all the Reddit videos because there's so many good ones. Now, if you haven't taken a look at the Reddit before, go ahead and take a look at it because there's a lot of good memes on there. There's a lot of good little videos on there. Oliver Blue / King Aurelius has done a great job with the Reddit, and so has everybody else who have joined it. So go ahead and have a look at that. But we're going to be actually talking about something that I did get from the Reddit. It was from Shano. I played him in a couple games, but he actually asked a really good question on the Reddit, and I thought I'd answer it in a video. And he said, if Rugby League Live 5 came out tomorrow, who would be the top players in the game? Now, he's actually gone ahead and he's listed all of his top positional players, and some of them I agree with, some of them I don't, but that's the beauty of having an opinion. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give my top 10. I'm not going to be going through each position. I'm just purely going to be going off the top 10 players who I think. I haven't actually really thought in depth about this one or really thought too much about overalls, but I sort of come up with a bit of a list, and I'm intrigued to see whether you agree or disagree with it. Now, we're just about to get into that list, but before I do so, I just want to take the time to say, if you happen to enjoy this video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to follow me on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's mrlukeonyt for the most part. My Facebook is Mr. Luke, but everything else, including Snapchat, including TikTok, is mrlukeonyt. Also, go ahead and cop some of the merch. I've got a Christmas design. I've got some really good other designs. You can see some on the screen right now. If you think that looks pretty good, go ahead and click on the merch link below. It's a spread shop. Click on that and go ahead and pick up some merch of your own. Also, I do need to mention that this video actually has a sponsor for it. Once again, you can see me wearing the shirt. Manscape is back with us, so thank you to Manscape for coming on board the channel. This video is sponsored by Manscaped. Ho ho ho, gentlemen. The holidays have come early this year as Manscaped have a gift that keeps on trimming. Santa's beard isn't so appealing when it's coming out of your trousers, and that's why Manscaped, the leaders in below the waist grooming, have you covered this holiday season. It's time to kill two birds with one stone. Get a gift for yourself and your significant other. You get what I mean, right? Like, surely, like down there, that's a gift for us, cleans it all up, and then, the gift for them because they don't have to deal with that. Gift for both of us, you know what I mean? But seriously, go get yourself the Performance Package 4.0, which includes the famous Lawnmower 4.0, which has a skin-safe technology to protect your nuts and is also waterproof so you can use it in the shower. So long story short, your balls are as safe as Nathan Cleary's contract at the Panthers. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Crop Preserver and the Crop Reviver in it as well. And you're probably thinking, what the hell is that? Well, basically, it's an anti-chafing deodorant, moisturizer, and toner. So earlier when I was talking about it being a gift for your partner, it's kind of what I meant. The hygiene bundle also comes with some anti-chafe boxes as well. So you've got the whole deal down there. No chase will be happening. Also included in this package is the Weed Whacker, which is an ear and nose trimmer because nobody really wants nose hairs. I've never seen anyone who said, oh, I don't really mind it. Everybody hates them. So all of that in itself is quite impressive. But if you want to impress everyone a little bit more, you can go ahead and pick up the signature scent of Manscaped and also me while I'm at it. It's a signature scent of me and Manscaped. And by signature scent, I mean their cologne. Now, everything that I've been talking about, all of this, it's all available in Australia, New Zealand, England, you name it, it's there. It's basically everywhere, and that's why there's 4 million men who trust Manscaped to keep their trees trimmed and their ornaments polished. See, it's Christmas time. We've got to mention some Christmas things. Now, normally I go ahead and talk about my code, which is Mr. Luke if you want to use it. It gives you 20% off and free shipping worldwide. But at the moment, Manscaped is running a Black Friday sale, and if this ad hasn't convinced you so far to pick up some products, maybe Hannah Palmer can. Go ahead and listen to Hannah because she's a lot better to look at and a lot better to listen to than me.
This holiday season, take 25% off during Manscaped's Black Friday sale. From grooming gifts that will make him smell incredible to skin-safe trimmers that will have him feeling smooth, you can find the perfect gift for any man on your holiday shopping list. So what are you waiting for? Make sure Manscaped is under your tree and your stockings are stuffed full of great gifts. Go to manscaped.com today and save 25% off site-wide plus free shipping.
Alrighty, got the intro out of the way. Now it's time to get into this list. So we're going to be going over the top 10 players of Rugby League Live 5. I'm going to start off at number 10 and work our way through to number 1. I feel like you can kind of get a gist of who the top couple are going to be, but there's a few ones that might surprise a few people in here. Now, it is hard to decipher whether, like, if you're making a video game, do you go purely just off last year or do you go off the last couple of years? So there's a couple of players who you might be looking at going, really top 10, but I'm sort of going off what their ability's been over the last couple of years because it's hard to predict what their form's going to be like going forward. So if they've actually got some runs on the board and have put together a couple good seasons or even more than a couple good seasons, you need to sort of chuck them into the higher ratings. It's kind of similar to how in FIFA, maybe Ronaldo didn't have the best season, but he's always still going to be one of the top 2 or 3 players in the game no matter what. And with that, we should probably talk about the first player on this list. At number 10, I have a guy who sort of resembles what I was just talking about, and that is Daly Cherry Evans. I've got him listed as an 88 rated player. Now, you might be thinking 88 is quite low for a top 10, but I feel like if you're making a new game, it just isn't fun if everybody's rated 91, 92, 93. I feel like it's just rated way too high. And I know even on FIFA, some of the top players are only rated like 93, 94. It is very rare that you actually see these guys start off at like 97, 98. And I know some of the guys in the list later on you might think and go, yep, I could chuck him in there. And there's probably guys that I have missed. I know for sure there's going to be a person like Latrell Mitchell who gets talked about. Newsflash, he's actually not on this list. Easily could be. Talent-wise could be on there, but I just feel like 88 rated. He probably is about 88 rated, but I've chose to talk about Cherry Evans. So you've got to keep in mind that there's probably other guys who are going to be rated the same, like 88 or 87, who are going to be right up there. But for me, for this list, in terms of Rugby League Live 5, I don't want everybody to be 89, 90 rated. So Cherry Evans, he's been around for a long time. He's won a premiership. He's won multiple Origin series. He's played for Australia. You can argue he's up there. He's right up there in terms of being one of the best halfbacks in the comp. You'd say that Nathan Cleary is the best halfback. Jerome Hughes is right up there. I'd actually say probably Jerome Hughes is better, but I feel like video game wise, you would probably put Cherry Evans just maybe one rating higher, or I'd actually probably have Jerome Hughes 88 as well. So that's sort of the ratings that I would sort of have. I feel like your halfbacks and fullbacks and all that sort of stuff are always going to be higher than your forwards, but Cherry Evans there, I feel like at 88, I think that is pretty fair for him. Like I said, he's one of the better players, but he's not the best player in his position, so I couldn't put him any higher than this, so he's going to have to be stuck at number 10. Probably even lucky to be on this list if I'm being honest, but he is the captain of Queensland, and like I said, he's won a premiership, he's done a lot in the game, so I'll purely put him in there for that. Then at number 9, we got our first hooker on the list. We have the Hectic Cheese, Brandon Smith at 89 rated. Where's he going to end up in real life? That is the question, but in terms of his Rugby League Live 4 overall, what would it be? I've gone with 89. Should it be higher? Should it be lower? I feel like you can argue it could be higher because I feel like he personally had the best season out of all the hookers, but he doesn't have the longevity. This is his first season playing hooker for a whole season. I know he's filled in the past, but Damien Cook's been there for a lot longer, and I should mention it, Damien Cook is a number 8 as well. Also an 89 rated player. I've got them rated the same. Damien Cook, he has runs on the board. Obviously, he hasn't won a premiership, which Brandon Smith has. He's got multiple, but Brandon Smith has never been the main guy. He's never been the hooker. There was always Cameron Smith there. So you sort of take those premierships with a grain of salt if you want to use them as stats compared to Damien Cook, because Damien Cook has been the main guy for a long time. He's won Origin series. He's the current Australian hooker. He's a very, very good player. He's getting up there in age a little bit, but I feel like for a guy who is the Australian hooker, he would have to be 89, 90 odd rated. Actually, I lied there. I had them actually 88. I think I said 89 earlier, so apologies for that. I actually had them as 88 rated. Now moving on to number 7. I don't think this will be a controversial one. I think this is pretty fitting. We've got Cameron Murray. Now you could argue that Isaiah Yeo should be on this list. I wouldn't disagree with that, but I feel like Isaiah Yeo's best attributes don't really go onto video games very well, whereas Cameron Murray's, I think he's got a great motor, he's great at tackling, he's a great runner, he just gets through a mountain of work, he's pretty skillful as well, so he kind of is an all-round forward, and that's why I've got him on this list. He actually is an 89 rated as opposed to the 88s that I said were 89. He is an 89 rated player. You could argue that it could be way, way higher, but that's where I've got Cameron Murray. I didn't want to put him too far ahead of what he actually does, because compared to some of the other players we've got on this list, I feel like there are better ones who deserve to be higher, but Cameron Murray is one of the best forwards in the game, and he easily deserves to be in this top 10. Now moving on to the last forward in this list, I talked about Cameron Murray being deserving of his position. Now we have another one who could be even higher. We have Payne Haas in at number 6. He is also 89 rated. It just kind of fits the same boat as Cameron Murray, but just a lot bigger and a lot different position, but sort of the same attributes. He's big and agile. He's got a great motor. He has decent ball playing skills, I guess, but he's got such a good motor, and he is so damaging with the ball. I just can't see a world in which Payne Haas is not at least 89 rated. He's easily the best prop in the game, and I know you can talk about Fisher Harris and such, but I think Payne Haas is on a whole nother level, and compared to some of these other guys, I think he fits right in where he is right now. Then we have at number 5, this could be a controversial one. I've actually gone with Cody Walker. He is the second highest rated 5'8" I have on this list, I'm pretty sure. I've got him at 89, and I feel like a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, he was easily the best 5'8" in the comp. Look at all the tries look at all the tries he scored. I feel like there'll be lots of comments talking about the intercept he threw, but Cody Walker, he's had a really good season. He's had a couple really good seasons, but he's never been able to turn it into a premiership, and a lot of times he's crumbled under the pressure. Now this year, he didn't necessarily do that, but like I said, he still hasn't won a premiership. He wasn't even the first choice 5'8" for New South Wales. He had Jerome Luai there, and I personally think Cody Walker is a better player, and obviously just in terms of New South Wales, the dynamics there, it works better for Jerome Lyon to be in the side. But Cody Walker, I think he is a very, very good 5'8", but he just hasn't quite got the runs on the board that the guy above him has, and that guy above him is Cameron Munster in at number 4. One overall higher, I've got him in at 90 rated. I think Cameron Munster, he's another one quite controversial because of how things have sort of turned out this year. Obviously, he's gone to rehab. There's been a lot of controversy off the field, and he didn't really have a great 2021, but at the same time, he still had a pretty good one. Like, it wasn't great in his standards, but in terms of everyone else, it was still half decent. He still played in a really, really good Melbourne Storm side. Obviously, they didn't win the premiership, but they set a lot of records last year. And in terms of him up against Cody Walker and who's rated higher, I'll go with Munster because he's won Origin Series, he's won premierships, and that's exactly what Cody Walker hasn't done. He's not been able to make his mark in the Origin arena, and he hasn't been able to make his mark in the finals. And like I said, you can argue about this year him playing quite well, but Cameron Munster has won premierships. He's been able to do it all. He's been the best player in State of Origin at different points in his career, and he's been the best player for the best team in the comp at different points in his career, which is the Melbourne Storm. I know Cameron Smith's there, but apart from Cameron Smith, he's been the best. So, look, Cameron Munster has been a great player for years, and I know this last year doesn't necessarily reflect that, and if you want to take him into account, you can take in other players like your Jack Whitens and such, but I feel like Munster, I feel like this was just a blip on the radar in terms of this season, and it's not going to be how he is going forward. I feel like this was just one bad season, really. So that's the reason I've got him in at number 4. Now we're on to the top 3. I feel like these guys really pick himself. At number 3, I feel like you already know who I'm going to talk about here. It's going to be James Tedesco. Now, last year or the year before that, probably would have easily had James Tedesco at number 1, but at the moment, I'm going to have him at 91 rated. Now, I don't even need to hide this. He's not the best fullback in the game, but he was for a long time. And I mean, you can still make an argument that he is, and he just played in a weaker side this past year, but it's going to be a real test for Tedesco going into 2022 as to where he is compared to Tommy Turbo. But with Tedesco, he just can't compete with Tom Trbojevic at the moment, in my opinion, and he's purely the Australian and New South Wales fullback because Trbojevic can play other positions and he can't. So it works well to have both of them in the side. Tedesco, hell of a player, has been, pretty much saving New South Wales a lot of the times the last couple of years. I know they've had a very good side, but Tedesco has really been carrying a lot of these teams. So I really rate James Tedesco, and that's why I've got him as number 3, and that's why I got him as 91, which leaves 2 players. It's pretty obvious who they're going to be. It's just a matter of what order is it going to be. One I've got listed as a 93, one I've got listed as a 94. Who's it going to be at the 93? It's going to be Nathan Cleary. Now, obviously, Nathan Cleary won the premiership, and that is something that I have taken into account, and that is sort of like throughout the season, I would have easily said Tom Trbojevic, who is the number 1. I would have said that he would easily be the number 1, but then when the final series came and we saw Tommy sort of, I don't want to say flopped a little bit, but he definitely wasn't as effective, and then we saw Nathan Cleary take it to another level while he was injured. I was like, all right, Nathan Cleary, he is very, very special. We already knew that he was special, but just the fact that he was able to do it in the final series while he had a busted arm too. He's in a sling right now. He had the surgery in the off-season, but he was busted, no doubt about it, and he ended up playing one of the best grand finals you'll ever see. It was a great performance from him, and I think it would be easy for me to have him as number 1 and have him even maybe the same as Tom Trbojevic, but Trbojevic is he's just one of those guys that I feel like if you're actually listing down all of his stats, you're going through like what's his palm like, what's his speed like, what's his agility like, what's his break tackle, all this sort of stuff, all video game sort of things. He'd just be so far ahead of everyone else. Like with Nathan Cleary, a lot of the best attributes about him are his footy smarts, and it's hard to put it onto a video game. Kind of similar to Cameron Smith. If you went through and you listed off all of his attributes, you might have had him as like an 88 or an 87 or something, but you probably wouldn't have had him as a 94, 95, whatever. It's hard to put IQ into a video game, but Nathan Cleary, that's sort of more his game. If you could put IQ in there, I think you'd have him equal or ahead, but you can't do that, and purely because Nathan Cleary for me is the second best / best player in the game. I had to have him up there at 93, but Trbojevic, he is just unstoppable at times, and I feel like if you made a video game right now, he would be the one that you would chuck on the cover. He would be the one that if you had an ultimate team would be the most expensive player. Everybody would be trying to get him. You'd be just trying to score try after try with Turbo. Anyways, that was my list. Let me know in the comment section below, what is your list? Do you disagree? Do you agree? Is there anyone I missed out on? I feel like there's going to be a lot of Latrell Mitchell mentions, a lot of guys like Adam Reynolds, Jerome Hughes, guys like that, but that's just my list. Even Harry Grant might even get a mention. But like I said, that is my list. Let me know yours. Anyways, that's where I'm going to wrap up this video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to use the notification bell. Don't rely on the sub boxes. Don't rely on suggested videos. Use the notification bell and never miss any of my videos. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and give me a follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke and YT for the most part. My Facebook is Mr. Luke, but everything else, including Snapchat, including TikTok, is Mr. Luke and YT. Also, as I mentioned earlier, go ahead and get some of the merch. There is a design on the screen right now. There's a link in the description below for the spread shop. Click on it. Go ahead and pick up some of your own. I think they look really nice, and I don't think you will regret it. Also, speaking of not regretting things, you won't regret it, and your balls will definitely not regret it. The sponsor of this video was Manscaped. Like I said earlier, I have a discount code. It is for Mr. Luke. Gets you 20% off and free shipping worldwide. However, there's a code that's automatically applied at the moment, which is for Black Friday, which gives you 25% off at the moment. So I would say go ahead and use that one. The extra 5% off, it does make a big difference. So thank you, Manscaped, for coming on board the channel. Also, thank you to you for watching the videos. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Stay tuned for more content on the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. See yous.